Right, hi everybody, and welcome back to my War Games hobby channel. I'm at the club tonight and I'm playing Steve, and this is the long-awaited game of the 100 Years' War between my French and my English. They've just been finished. In fact, you might have seen the video that I published last week telling you about them, and it's the first time they've been on the table, so we're going to see how it goes. I gave Steve the option, I didn't mind which one I used, so he chose to play English, so I'm doing the French. And there are a few changes we're doing today, which I'll explain when we start the game. I'm not going to do the whole game as usual, because it's just too long. What I will do is I'll do highlights, stop after each move and let you know what's happened. Right, so I'll just show you what the table looks like. There's Steve. Hello, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so you can see the table. We're starting quite a long way apart. It's just an encounter game. The English are raiding somewhere in France, which they did around that sort of period quite a bit. So let me just go through the armies. I'll start with the English. Let's come over here. They've got 2 units of longbows. They've got one over there, and the other one is here. And then they've got 3 units of elite infantry. They've got one there, and another 2 here, and the leader's with one of those units. And then we've got 2, this is a bit more unusual, we've got 2 lots of heavy cavalry. The reason is, these are mounted crossbowmen, so they really count as Burgundians, because of course the Burgundians were allied to the English in the 100 Years' War, or most of it anyway. And then I've got some mounted longbow, which is unusual, but it's nice to include them. But they're effectively going to be counted exactly the same as crossbowmen. So they are okay at shooting. Haven't got the range of the normal longbow if they're on foot, but because they take time to demount and they don't actually lose anything, they can shoot. Effectively, they're going to stay on their horses, but really, in reality, they did dismount to shoot. So I'm fine with the fact they've only got a 12-inch range, but they're still going to be quite effective. But they're not going to be very good in combat, so they won't want to sort of get stuck in. They can't countercharge as well. So we're going to see how that goes. And that's 36 points of English. Now we come over to the French side. Let's start on the left here. I'm using 2 units of skirmish crossbowmen, that one there and that one there. Then I've got a unit of crossbowmen in the middle, which have got Pavises, so they're probably like Genoese. They used to have a lot of Genoese. And 2 units of knights and a unit of heavy cavalry. And then finally there's 2 units of heavy infantry. The ones on the right are normal heavy infantry with a spear, so they can form water spears if they wish. And these have got 2-handed axes, so they're veteran. They've got a better attack than normal. So that's the French. The 2 units of skirmish crossbowmen, I could have used them as another unit instead without Pavises, but I've decided I'd use them tonight as skirmish crossbowmen. And they've got handy placed woods for them to go in, which I think they're going to need. So that's it. We're just going to see how it goes. It's an encounter battle. We're going to meet in the middle and see what happens. And I will report back every so often about what's happening. While Steve does his moves, I'll just explain that we're using the alternative method for activation, so that every unit will get to roll to see whether they move or not. There's no re-rolls. If they fail, they just move on to the next unit. It's in the book, it does say anything bigger than sort of 24, well, 30 or 36 points is best to use that method, and we haven't tried that yet. We're going to see how it goes tonight. So everything will get to roll, no re-rolls at all. But as soon as you fail, you move on to the next unit. Right, quick update. First blood to the French. Look, we got one of the mounted longbows got a little bit too close to these crossbows over here. We opened fire, but they got armor of 3. Only got 4 hits because they're over 12 inches, so only hit on 5s and 6s. And he did a courage test, and they're fine. It's Steve's move now. In fact, he failed to move those. They were going to shoot at my guys in here, but they failed to do so. But he's moved up the crossbowmen now.
See if I can activate them to shoot them. They should be.
Okay, yeah. Go for it.
Yes.
They can. So I'll come back and let you know what's happening in a minute. Let's just put this down here so you can get a good view of the battlefield. Right, a kick update. You're getting a little bit closer now. Steve fired at my skirmishers in the woods with his longbow. They're at long range, I'm hitting on 5.6s, but in the wood they got armour of 3. I did lose a figure, here we are, my first loss. So we both, and I opened fire on his elite infantry coming across that field there from the guys in the wood. So very, very early days, and now it's Steve's turn. Right, a little bit of an update. Over here, my crossbowmen in the wood opened fire on these, which were here on the longbow, mounted longbow, and they took 2 casualties and they've fallen back battered. They had a bad courage test. Over here, these opened fire and caused a casualty on the crossbowmen, but their courage was fine. You've noticed I've been very brave in moving my knights up here. They might get shot at this turn, I'm sure, but then if they stay there and they have a good courage test, they might charge next move. One of those 2 units, which they're both within charge distance of. I was a bit of a coward here. I moved my leader back because I didn't want them being shot at yet. I want to keep them back in reserve, so I'm not being too ambitious with those at the moment. Over here we had a bit of a melee. I've managed to rally these in the wood, but of course they can't fire this turn. I then charged in with my heavy cavalry into the elite infantry here. I managed to take off one of his figures, but I lost 2 myself. The courage test of both the units were fine, but because I lost the melee, I've had to fall back. And these guys failed to activate. I tried to charge them in as well. They didn't go anywhere. These guys have moved up towards where those longbow over there. So pretty mixed. I've so far lost 4 figures and the English have lost 6. So really nothing in it at the moment. A lot is going to happen, I'm sure, very, very shortly. Right, I'll report back when it does. Over here, my unit here had to rally because they fell back last move. They failed their courage test. They've only lost 1 figure, but they rolled abysmally badly. Anyway, they've rallied this move. I decided to charge my heavy cavalry into his elite because he's only got 4 men now. I want to get them down to less than 3, so they're not as effective. Well, I've done quite well. I've rolled, as you can see there, I've got 9 hits, which is 2 figures off him, but Steve's rolled pretty well as well. He's got 7 hits, which is 2 figures off me, so we're both going to lose 2 figures there. It's now just a case of our courage tests, how we do with them. So my courage test is 10, so -4 they're down to 6, but that's fine. And your courage test was 4. Oh no, 5, sorry. So they've lost 4 men, they're down to 1. So they got to retire and they are battered.
These are battered?
Yeah, so they've got to go back 6 inches, take them off the movement tray now, there's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
So they go back 6 inches. So it sort of worked, but that unit is now down to 2 men. It's really going to be pretty ineffective. I've already moved them for you, yeah. So that's going to be pretty ineffective from now on, but I have reduced one of his 3 elite units down to below really what they're going to be any good at anymore. They're only going to be rolling 6 dice if they attack, and the chances are if they roll another bad courage test, they might fall back and lose another figure. So it's been costly. It's cost me a heavy cavalry unit, but it's still only worth 4 points against his elite of 6. Over here, my infantry unit, I did activate them, and they actually, I forgot to put an activated sticker on, they failed to move. So, there we go. I'll report back in a minute. Okay, I'll let you watch this little melee we got. My knights have charged in, they were here. They were within charge move of 3 units, and they have to do a wild charge, and I've elected obviously to charge against the longbows rather than the elite infantry, although I could have charged the crossbowmen as well, but that would have put me right next to these elite infantry, which might not have been a good idea. So I've charged in there instead. Charging, I've got 4 men in the unit, so I still roll 12 dice, and I'm hitting on 3s. The longbows in defence, they only hit on 5+. Hopefully I'll do some damage to these knights So you roll yours first if you like. You need 5s. Well, you rolled a few there. Yeah, you want at least 4 to get a figure off, which you've got, haven't you? Yeah. You've got another one in there, but it still only counts as 1 figure. But that's still enough to take a figure off, which means I'm going to have to do a courage test in a minute. And now I'm going to roll to see what I get on you. I'm hitting on 3s. Just take those ones out. So that's not bad. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Sorry, I moved that one, I moved it. So, which is 4 figures. So you lose 4 figures. That's convenient, they're on bases of 4. Yeah. So we both got to do a courage test. I'm on -3 because I've lost 3 figures so far. I'm left on 6, so my courage is fine. You rolled a 7, but you've lost 4 men, you're down to 3. And the courage for archers is 4. So they have to go back battered, back that way for 3 inches, which is what I needed for them to do, really. So that gamble has sort of paid off, but effectively that heavy knight unit is down to half strength, so they're not going to be as effective from now on. However, they have pushed that longbow unit back. But will I live to regret it? I don't know. I'll do the rest of my movement and then I'll report back. So Steve had to try and rally these longbow, but he didn't roll that well. So they've gone back and they've lost another figure and they're still battered. Now you've got another battered unit over there, Steve. You've got to roll for the knights as well, or the elite infantry. You rolled a 7. They've lost 4 men, they're down to 3. Which is all they need, yeah. So they've rallied. Right. So you can take that sticker away, put a rally marker there, and they're okay. Now you've got to do your normal moves. Well, I'm just about to open fire with my crossbowmen, with the Pavises here on these elite infantry that are coming forward. I activated them enough, I rolled an 8. So because they're within 12 inches, I hit on 4s. So I need a good dice roll here. And I haven't done a brilliant dice roll.
Is there a kitchen open?
But it is enough.
Oh, you went upstairs
to get 1 figure off.
That one's not open.
Which is a relief. I'm hoping for better there, though. Right, there's 1 figure off then. I'll take the man on the front. I'll leave those ones in red on. Right, so you lost 1 figure. You've got to do a courage test. Can you roll it over here so we can see it on the camera?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. That'll do, yeah. Oh, 3. That's not brilliant.
No.
They lose 1 because they lost a figure, but they get 1 back for the leader. And in fact, that's all they need. 3 is all they need because that's what their courage is. So you just about survive that. Yeah. If your leader hadn't been there, if he'd been more than 12 inches away, they would have been in trouble. But you got away with it. Right, so Steve's just rolled there. He wants 4s, 5s and 6s. His longbow are shooting at my advancing heavy infantry, and he's hoping to stop me in my tracks. Because at the moment, next move I'll charge him, although he still can fight back quite well. So we've got 7 hits on me there, which is 2 more figures. So I'll take 2 figures off. Better leave the standard, didn't I? Right, I've got to do a test to see whether I do anything silly.
I don't know, they're Alex figures. They're Alex, are they?
I'm okay with that. I lose 4 for the losses. I'm still on 5, so they're okay. So they're all right. Right. So I managed to survive that. I've got to try and get stuck in and do something with those longbow in my turn. So what's happened here is my knights had to do a wild charge. Although he rallied his longbow last move, at least he's okay. He hasn't fired them yet, and I'm standing within charge move of him, so I had to wild charge. It's either charging them or charge the elite infantry here, which I'm not going to do that. That would be silly. So I've charged in here. I'm, of course, half strength or below, so I've only got 6 dice, but I'm hitting on 3s. And Steve is hitting on 5s, but he's still got 12 dice. So you roll first if you like, Steve. You're looking for 5s, mate.
Yeah.
You've got 3 there.
Yeah, just got 3. Damn.
Yeah, so you haven't killed a figure on mine, which is really surprising.
Yes, damn.
And I'm going to roll 6 dice to see if I can... I'm hitting on 3s because I'm charging knights. Well, I've only got 3, but it's enough to take a figure off. It wasn't a brilliant roll, but then, you know, I would have needed another hit to take a second figure off. So you've got to do a courage test there now because you lost a figure and I didn't. So you rolled 8. You've now lost 6 men, so it's -6. You're down to 2, which means you fail. So they have to go back half a move, which is 3 inches, and they're battered. Which is what I wanted to do. I just want to stop them getting back into the fight. My knights are happy just to keep hitting those until hopefully they go off the table. Now I've got to do another wild charge over here because my knights with my leader. Incidentally, the leader, it should be a part of the unit really, but we've just attached the leader to that unit because it looks nice to have the leader separate. But that unit is a unit of 5, and obviously when it gets down to just 1 figure, then it comes off because really it's not a unit of 6. There's only 5 men there, really fighting. It's a bit confusing, but we decided we'd add the leader on as a separate part of the unit, as is the case over there for the English. Right. Anyway, what I was saying was I've got to do a wild charge because I've got 3 targets. I'm not going to charge the elite knights. I don't want to do that. I think I'll go in here and try and get rid of that crossbow unit. That's assuming if I do, of course, which I do. I only needed 5. So they're charging in here. And Joan of Arc will come up the rear. So that's it. We both got 12 dice each. You're hitting on 5s, and I'm hitting on 3s because I'm charging knights. I'll let you roll first, so you need 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so you've got enough to take a figure off, which is good rolling for you. And now I'm going to roll 12 dice hitting on 3s. Right, I'll take out the ones that didn't hit. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8 hits. They've got an armour of 3, so it's 2 figures. There you go. We both have to do a courage test. I'll do mine first. Yeah, I'm all right. I rolled a 9. So you roll your courage test. Oh, no, that's not very good. You rolled a 4. You've got a courage, your heavy cavalry got a courage of 4, but you're down to 1 now because you've lost 3 figures. But you get 1 back for the leader, oh sorry, here, but it's still only 2, which means they are a battered unit. So they have to go back sort of this way, away from where I was charging. So they do a 5-inch move, and they're a battered unit, which I'm pleased about. At the moment, the losses are very even. Look, these are my losses, of which, let's see now, I've lost 4 knights, 4 heavy cavalry, and the rest are foot. And this is the English losses. So, although a lot of those are longbow, 6 of those are longbow, if anything, I would say the English got slight superiority of losses over the French, but marginally in it, nothing in it really. So that was successful for me. I've got to move the rest of my troops. I've got to show you this. My skirmishers in here, who twice have failed to shoot, finally did get activated to shoot, which was good news. They were shooting at these mounted longbowmen, hitting on 5s and 6s, and look, this is my dice roll. What can you say? Not a single hit. What is the matter with my dice? Do Do you think I need a new set of dice, Steve, or what? I think I do. Absolutely hopeless. So, the one time they did shoot in 3 moves, they go and fail to do anything. Right, so I've charged with my heavy infantry. Although they're not brilliant at attacking, they're better at defending. They do hit on 5s and 6 going in. He's only got armour of 2, but he defends on 5s and 6s as well. So I'll let Steve roll first. He needs 5s and 6s to do damage to my troops, and he's got 1, 2, 3 there. I've got armour of 3, so it is a figure, if you'd like to pass me one over. So I have lost a figure there, but I could have lost a lot more, really. And now I'm going to roll to see how many I get of Steve. I'm hitting on again, 5s and 6s. Oh, look, come on, what's happening here? I really do need to get some new dice. In fact, I've got some new dice, look. See those? I'm going to start using those because these are rubbish. That's the second time I've failed to get enough 5s and 6s. Right, so back to square one, changing my dice. I'm going to put these yellow ones into mothballs because they're absolutely useless. Let's see if my red ones do any better. Anyway, I lost that melee because I didn't get a single hit. I only needed 2 to cause a casualty and I failed dismally. So I'm going to roll 2 dice. 6. I've lost 5 men, so I'm down to 1, which means I have to go back. And I think that's going to be a bit of a problem for them because you're going to shoot me to bits, aren't you, next move? So they've had to fall back and they are battered. I've got these heavy cavalry here. I'm going to move them. No, they're not going anywhere. Look, I've got new dice out. Look. Do you believe it? I think, the only other thing I've got to do now is, I hope these new dice work. I've got to try and activate my crossbowmen to fire. Unfortunately, I need a 7 to activate them, and I just rolled 2 3s. So I haven't managed to activate them at all, which is a bit of a disaster because I really needed to whittle him down a bit more. At that range, I might have taken at least 1 more figure off, but I failed to do so. So due to my really bad dice rolling, I'm struggling in this game. I really do need to learn how to roll dice better. My knights have done all right in the middle there, but they are faced, there's 2 elite units here. This one here, which is still full strength, and this one with their leader is very near my crossbow, and I'm sure they're going to go in next move. And over here, he's only got 1 figure left there, but they're still surviving. It's pretty close. Over there I've got my knights have pushed his longbowman back again. So it's a really, really close game this is. I don't know how it's going to end. Yeah, Steve just failed to rally those. So they go back. They go back 5 inches. Sorry, not 3, 5 inches, because their normal move is 10. So put them back a couple more. And because they failed to rally, they lose another figure and fall back. So they're getting in a bit of a state, fortunately for me, and they stay battered.
And they lost the figure, which I just got rid of.
Okay, and then you've got to rally your longbowmen as well over there, haven't you? Oh dear. Well, that means they're gone.
They're gone.
They can't survive, so they've gone. Yeah, that was that's not a good time to roll 2 1s. That's the sort of thing that I do, Steve. And that means obviously they've lost 6 men, they're down to -4, and even the leader being near, if he was, and he isn't anyway, but if he was near, wouldn't make any difference, they've gone. Right, so that's your rallies done. Now it's a case of other units.
These?
I bet you're going to activate them to shoot at me, aren't you? Go on, go for it. What'd they roll?
5.
Yeah. Oh!
No, 6, I should say. 6.
They just about made it. That's what they need to be able to shoot.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to fail there. So you've got 12 dice, hitting on 4s. Yeah, you've got enough there to get 2 figures off, haven't you? Oh dear. I think I'm in deep dodo with that unit. I'm on -7 now. Well, I rolled 8, they're down to 1, but it's not enough. They've got to go back another half a move. But because it's not trying to rally, it's just reacting to being pushed back, they don't lose another figure. They only lose a figure if they're attempting to rally, and that wasn't an attempt to rally.
To rally this.
No, they've only just gone back this move. They've already been.
Okay.
So you've got those over there.
Activate.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, they can easily shoot if that's what you want to do.
That's what I want to do. How many dice? 6?
6, yeah. I take it you're shooting at my knights.
Yes.
Don't blame you.
Oh, come on, please.
You need 4 hits.
I've only got 3
with 5s.
hits.
No. 5s anyway, so you missed. Now you've got 2 units to activate yet.
Yes.
Both your elite units in the middle here.
So
you're going to do those first, are you? Okay.
that's 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah,
9.
you can activate them. Do you want to come this way or go towards the knights?
I'm going to try and get in line on the other side of them, maybe.
So if they go about what there?
Yeah.
Now what are you going to do with these?
They're going straight in.
You're going to try and charge me, aren't you?
Yeah. 5.
Yeah, I knew they would. So they've got stuck in there. You've got 12 dice hitting on 3s. And oh dear, oh dear, oh dear for me. Do you want to roll them in the middle here, Steve,
Yeah,
so we can all see it?
Yep.
I'm sure my viewers would love to see me lose my crossbowman. Ooh, you're hitting on 3s, I said, didn't I? Just take out the 1s, maybe. That would be easier, wouldn't it? Well, it's still not bad. Oh no, it's 2, 4, 6. Now my crossbowman, in melee, I've got an armour of 3 because of the pavis. So you've got 2 casualties on me. If I take 2 off the end here. Right, and I'm fighting back with 5s, using my new red dice. I need 5s. Are these new red dice better than the other ones? Oh, they don't look too bad, do they? That's not bad. I'm happy with that 50% success rate. But because you've got an armour of 4, you've only lost 1 figure. I'll take him off. There you go. Which means that unit is now down to half strength,
So
because we don't count the leader, do we? Although he's a part of the unit, he's really one of these men.
So 6 dice for that next time.
Yeah, I'm pleased about that. But we both got to do a test to see whether we stay there or not. I rolled 10, so I'm fine.
4, 5, 6. I rolled
6. Well, you've lost 3, then you're still okay because you're down to 3. Your leader, you get 1 back anyway. 4, so they're fine. I lost more than you, so it's me that's got to go back half a move, which is 3 inches. But I'm not battered because I didn't fail my test. I've gone back because I lost the melee. That's actually the best thing could happen, because hopefully next time I can shoot at you. Keep my fingers crossed. Well, we just thought we'd let you watch those few moves, because it's getting quite... it's really close, actually. I mean, I really don't know who's in the lead here. They're my losses. That's the English loss. Now they've lost that longbow unit. Maybe I've got a slight advantage in numbers, but not enough to claim a win or anything silly like that. It's all going to happen in the next couple of moves. But this is really a close game. Anything can happen. Right, it's my turn. You know, my dice rolling, I know you all know what I'm like, but boy, am I rubbish. Look at this. I rolled to activated my crossbowman to shoot. I'm hitting on 4s, 5s, 6s, and I get 2 6s and a 5 with 12 dice. Just sums me up, really, doesn't it? So I didn't do anything there. Incidentally, my heavy infantry that were over here are now here because I lost them. I rolled a bad courage test, unfortunately, and they've gone. Okay, so that unit's been activated. Oh, I have to do a wild charge. I'm sorry, I should have done that first. These will have to charge. They've been activated. And I'm not going to charge your knights here. I'm going to charge your cavalry. Yes, they go in. I think it's going to be goodbye to them, Steve. I don't think they'll survive. My knights attacking them. I'm hitting on 3s.
Rolling a 6, aren't I?
Well, that's a bit better. Look, I've got lots of hits there. I've got 10 hits. They got armour of 3, so they're wiped out. But you fight back with 6 dice, hitting on 5s. 2. No,
2
not
hits.
enough.
Not enough to do it.
So your mounted archers, I'm afraid, have gone to the big archery range in the sky. Right, so they're okay. They've been activated. Let's just put a little marker down. They've been activated. I'm going to try and move these skirmishers out of that wood because they're not doing any good there. No, they're not going anywhere. I don't think. Wait a minute. Oh no, they move on 5. So they're going to do an 8-inch move. So they're going to cause you a bit of aggro, hopefully. And over here, I'll have to do also a wild charge with my knights.
So well, they've got to turn and charge them.
Well, they can charge either. Oh yeah, because they're dead, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to charge them. Yeah. So turn around and charge into those battered men. I think they're going to be gone as well. I'll just roll. You've got 6 dice against me, but you're only hitting on 6s because you're battered. Yeah, you're gone. Yeah.
I only got 1 6.
Not enough. So they're gone as well. So it's all happening now, isn't it? They've been activated. Right. Okay, another quick update. Steve went in here with the remaining elite of his elite unit. He lost another figure and he's gone back battered, but he's still there with 2 figures. I've only lost 3 in that unit. The trouble is when you roll 3 for courage, which means you've got to end up on a 0, they've got to go. So he's broken that crossbow unit. I can't believe that. Yet again, my dice rolling stops me from doing a glorious shooting on him next move to finish him off. So although he's lost a figure, he's wiped out that unit. So now I've lost another unit. So I've lost 2 units in whole now, the heavy infantry and my crossbow and Pavese unit. And they've gone, yeah. And Steve's still got 3 units on the table. He's got his very powerful longbow over there, but his leader here is just down to 2 men now. And in the middle here, he's got an elite unit of 5. So at the moment, I'm in the driving seat, but I could have done without losing those crossbows because they could have shot next turn and probably finished them off. But that's now not going to happen. But it's your go, Steve. Are you going to try and charge these?
Yeah, charge with them.
I thought you might.
It might as well.
You might as well.
Charging the bark.
Yeah, in they go. I'll try and countercharge. I hope I countercharge. Please let me countercharge. Yes, I do. Fortunately, so they go in. We both got 12 dice. We're both hitting on 3s. I'll do mine first. Oh dear, look at that rubbish. Well, I got 6, which is 1 figure off you. And you've got, oh, you did worse than me.
Oh, damn.
You've got, oh no, you've got 1, 2, yeah, you've got 4, 5, 6. You've got 6 as well. So that's enough.
3s count, do they?
3s count, yeah, because you're charging.
Yeah.
Charging elite infantry. In fact, you've got 7, haven't you? But it's still only one figure because I've got knights. So we both lose 1 each. We both have to do a test. I rolled 10, so I'm fine. You need 2 dice. Yeah, you rolled even better. You rolled 12, so that's not a problem. But you're the one that charged in, so you're the one that's going to go back 3 inches. So they've been activated. What are you shooting at? My cavalry or my...
Yeah, these boys, I think.
The infantry, okay. You need 5s and 6s at that range.
Right, so it's 6.
Yeah, it's enough for one more figure. Okay, so I've got to do a test. Oh dear, look at this. What is going on? -5 because of my losses, so they go as well. Oh dear, Alec, what are you like? I'm going to lose this game by rubbish dice rolling, which is actually normal for me anyway. So, okay, so that's a bit of a shame. It's my turn. We're getting towards the end of this game, guys, but there's still plenty on the table for it to continue. I've got to really try. I wanted to try and finish off his leader here. I would have claimed victory then, but as my crossbowmen have all run away, that's going to be difficult to do. But there we are. I'm not going to get anywhere near those longbow. I'm just going to ignore them. I've got to charge in over there to try and finish off his last unit of knights and try and kill his leader. Right, I'll let you know what happens. Now Steve's rolling badly. I caused another casualty on his elite infantry and then he rolled 2 1s. So they've gone. So I think we call it a day there, Steve, don't you?
That's not much else we can do.
You've only got your leader left with 1 bow unit. And although I can't claim a crushing victory, I think if we just carry on, I'm going to finish your leader off eventually. He's only got 2 men in his unit now. So yeah, Steve's agreed with me, haven't you, Steve?
Yeah.
Reluctantly.
No, there's not much else you can do.
It was what a cracking game. I mean, it really could have gone either way. And with my typical rubbish dice rolling,
Without any
I nearly threw it away, didn't I?
That's the end of the evening, and I think.
But it was good fun, and it's the first time we've had these armies out in the field. As I say, 6 months has taken me to paint them up. Well, roughly 6 months. And I'm really pleased how they've come out. Well, they were my losses. There's enough of them, isn't there? And this is Steve's losses. He's only got, say, 2 figures in that unit. The leader's hanging on the back and his longbow in the corner. So it was interesting because we haven't used mounted longbow before, which is what these guys are, and the crossbowmen, which are sort of Burgundians really. But the longbow, treating them as crossbow, worked quite well. They have to get within 12 inches. They haven't got the range of the normal longbow units. But I think that's right because they're mounting and dismounting. They haven't got time to, just stand there and shoot. So I think that house rule works quite well for mounted longbow, because they're not like the normal Eastern short bow, which is what I could have used them as, but I just think they're harder to activate. They should be harder to activate, like the crossbow are, because they are mounting and dismounting to shoot, etc. But I think that worked quite well. Unfortunately, Steve didn't roll that well with them, so they didn't do as much damage as they could have done. But they still did damage some of my knights, and I had to get rid of them. But I think that worked quite well. We did this slightly different activation system of rolling for every unit, and I think for bigger games that works fine. The re-roll thing is better just on when you're using 24 points, I think. Anything bigger than that, yeah, this works all right. You still sometimes fail to activate units, but it doesn't stop the game completely or your turn. It does mean, though, that unit only gets to 1 chance to activate. So, Joan of Arc here with this little unit was victorious against the English. Right, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. See you again soon.